Help me hit 100 subs by hitting that subscribe button, like the video, and without further ado, let's jump right into this video on Pearl. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Pandalized here with a guide, and today we are going over one of my favorite maps to play as Jett, and that is Pearl. Pearl is one of the best maps as Jett because there is a surprising amount of verticality that you can play off of, and it's just a really well suited map for Jett, for OPing, and you can just make a lot of plays, which I'm going to be going over some of the plays, tips, strategies, and tactics that I've learned playing against high immortals and radiants over the last few acts. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Before we begin, I want to go over some Jett mechanic fundamentals that many people don't know even well into the immortal rank. First being that if you updraft without jumping, you're only going to go so high than if you jump and updraft simultaneously, and it's the same concept with dashing. If I have my back against the wall and only dash without jumping, I'm only going to go so far than if I put my back against the wall and jump dash. You'll see that we actually end up a good meter or so further than we did before. Another concept that people don't seem to realize is that if you have your knife out and you switch to your gun, it takes that long to shoot, whereas if you have your knife out and you pull out your smoke, you can actually shoot a lot faster as Jett. The fourth thing I want to cover is that if you're updrafting and dashing, you don't want to updraft then dash, as you won't be able to shoot as quickly as if you dash and updraft. So for example, if I updraft dash and I hold, that's how long it takes me to shoot, whereas if I dash and updraft, I can shoot a lot faster. Let's go over attacking A on Pearl as Jett. One thing you've got to keep in mind is with your knife out, the enemies will reach this corner before you do. So if you're swinging this fast, you don't want to be aiming here because they're going to be already here. You want to be clearing this and holding this at a sort of 50-50 angle. One of the things that I see a lot of Jetts doing is throwing their smoke and just dashing into their smoke like this. This is okay. It does, you know, if anybody's holding from art, it definitely catches their crosshair, but the problem is if you're only smoking close like this and you're only dashing into it, if you pop out like this, you're probably dead because they're predicting it. Anybody that's playing art can spam you, and anybody that's playing backside, well, it's very rare that somebody swings from the right. They're just going to be holding for you to swing out of your smoke here. If you jump, dash, and crouch, you can actually make it on top of this main sight box from the top step here, just like this. So you jump, dash, and crouch, you'll actually make it on top of this quite consistently, and this combined with the smoke is just a much better dash for entering the site. So if you're coming up, you throw your smoke on top of the vending machine, jump, dash, and crouch, and you can get in here. It means you can pop out, catch the people back sight off guard. If you're in your smoke, you can throw another smoke, you can just chill. It means that the people back sight, they don't know whether you're coming from left, right, if you're going to drop, and it's just creating a lot of space for everybody. And one of the plays that I like doing is when you're inside here, it's actually just jumping into dugout. It's something they don't expect. If you've got a cipher or something, you're going to jump over all of the trips. If you're coming from art to attack A, one of the best things I like doing is just coming to this angle and just jumping on top of this slope here. This means that you can get a different elevation, you can cut the pie up, and when you get to this angle, you can jump on top of here silently, peek close, you can spray the box, and if you aim just in the middle top of this box, it means anybody that's sat behind here, you're going to be able to headshot them or body spam them. Now, when you come up into art, a thing I see a lot of Jetts doing is just dashing past here to get into sight. But you're not really in sight here, and this isn't that much of a threat. The same thing is done by just curving a smoke. You can run up and then dash into sight. This saves your dash, and again, like last time, I see a lot of Jetts doing either a smoke here and dashing in. Pretty predictable though. Anybody's secret's gonna catch you off, anybody backside's gonna catch you off. One thing I like doing is smoking on top, and you can jump and dash and you're just immediately on top of the box. So now you have all of the same options that you did from dashing from main. However, if this is becoming predictable, well, what I propose instead is actually smoking, and then you can fake dash and then walk through your smoke. Just a reminder that as a Jett main, you want to be clearing these hard angles with your dash when you're going in. So for example, if we are dashing on top of the vending machine, you want to dash and clear this just by having a peek. Again, as always, when you're OPing, buy a shorty on Jett. It gives you so many options, but when the barriers drop, you really want to get to this angle again, and because you know that they beat you, you want to pull out the op early and hold a shallow angle like this, because when the enemies are rifling, what they tend to do is walk up here, and if they're holding this 50-50 and they see nobody and you've not made much noise, well, then they start to just peek like this. And if your teammates are here, if there's two of them and they go to trade you, you should be able to get out of the way and get the man advantage or two-person advantage. Working the op A as Jett is really underrated. You just peek, hold it with the op. I tend to crouch peek because I think it throws off their crosshair more. You just want to slice up each of these angles, check up top, you want to be checking down below in case they're holding an off angle, and then checking for secret, checking here, checking on top of dugout, checking, check for the sage wall. And if you get the pick, fantastic, smoke your team in. Now you can just sit back and you can hold for the rotates as they go and plant the bomb. If you find yourself in the situation where you're having to op and push art with the op, similarly to rifling, you want to jump on top of this and just start cutting the pie, but you want to be sat towards the edge of this ramp so that if you pull the trigger and you have to drop off, you have a bit of a chance to escape. Likewise, jumping up here, clearing these angles is okay. Obviously, opping this close is risky, but if you can get into art like this, well, just take it slow, have a teammate clear back box for you, or just clear it with your shorty. And I wouldn't even smoke here, as not having the smoke allows you to get the advantage of maybe getting a pick on the enemy. Keep on cutting the pie and just working your way up. Say after plant is getting on top of dugout like this and holding into flowers, especially if you have a teammate holding here and you have art control. This is just an angle that I rarely die from. It allows you to get a pick and drop. And another one is just playing off of the sight box into flowers or into secret like this. When it comes to eco strategies, I really recommend not going A main. There's just a lot more range there that the enemies can kill you. I would just really recommend going art. It's more comfortable as Jett. You can play a lot more aggressively. Unlike when we had rifles and I was saying to jump up in here, on eco, you really want to stay close to these walls. You want to clear close like this, then you want to put your back against this wall because it means that you can clear this right cubby, and if somebody's tucked in like this, you're going to see their shoulder before they see you. Otherwise, you want to keep the pace up. You want to clear this backside. I wouldn't be smoking this. You want to take this fight if you have a stinger or anything like this. And if you can get yourself into link and going water to cut off the rotations, this is really good on ecos. Otherwise, like we were talking about, smoking on top of here, dashing and then dropping, catching somebody off guard is really strong. The single strongest post plant that you can do on a site is by planting in this corner, looking into the corner as you plant, as this plants for both A main and it plants for art, which is key. Because if you just plant for main and all 5 of your teammates are there, you're going to get smoked off, they're going to sage wall, they're going to defuse. Whereas you can be playing from art here, they don't know if you're playing from on top of the box here, especially if they smoke or wall. You can be tucked in here. There's just so many angles that you can play off of. You can be tucked into this corner as well, and you can swing here with your teammates. And if you happen to be playing on site, you can wall bang here as well. And one thing I like doing is by updrafting, faking the updraft as they're going to be looking up here, and then swinging this. It's pretty strong. Alright, let's get to attacking B. Probably my favorite of the two sites to attack consistently is Jett. Nearly every single attack round, I will place this smoke. This smoke is brilliant as it allows you to cross the site and play any angle that you want from this B ramp area. And what this smoke does is, if you're placing it every single round, it conditions your enemies, no matter where they're playing, to not know whether there's one person crossing, no people crossing, or if it's a 5-man stack that's crossing. And it's just a very powerful tool to be able to lurk as Jett, get the kill on the B rotator. It opens up the door to so many possibilities. But when it comes to rifling, we cross this. I tend to clear back haul, tend to clear on top of this box, and I play it differently nearly every time. I'll start off, if my aim's feeling good, I'll just take these aim duels, this headshot angle. If not, I tend to maybe wait, just hide here, 10, 15 seconds, just hold close, and then maybe take a peek. You take a peek here, you take a peek here, as if they're holding with an op, they're going to be more concerned with this angle, and if they see nothing, then you might be able to get the drop on them. As for pathing and pushing up, what I like to do is get to this pillar as soon as possible. So as you're coming up, you obviously want to be clearing close. You'll be able to see them before they see you because of the angle advantage. And you just want to be taking these angles really slow. You want to be clearing close before that you peek this far angle, and jumping on top of this box here is something that allows you to clear the B hull area, as if they're opping this, they're only going to see your legs. Your goal is to get up onto this corner, as it opens up as many options as possible for Jett. The first being that if you throw your smoke fairly shallow like this, you can jump and dash into it. The second way I like to enter onto the site is, so I'll curve a smoke in, just into back hall like this, and the second smoke I'm going to do is going to go into heaven like this here. Combined with both of these smokes, you prep your dash, and what it allows you to do is dash, updraft, and get into heaven. This disrupts any rotations, it puts a lot of pressure on anybody playing CT or backhaul. The third way to use your dash and updraft is if there's a lot of smokes coming in and a huge amount of utility, prepping your dash, and when all these smokes and utility are up, well, using your updraft and having your dash prepped, getting on top of this box. As anytime you can see over some of the smokes like this that are close, you can get a pick, jump, dash, and you're out of there with your team. You can just sometimes chill up here, and if you know that the smokes are going to fade, you can get the pick, and now you can create the space and push in. And as always, just a reminder that if you are dashing into B, you want to be clearing this left B screen corner, as it can screw over a lot of your rounds. People just seem not to check this, because they think spamming it a few times means it's clear. When it comes to OPing B, again, likewise of the other rounds, I will always throw this smoke just to disrupt and keep up with the charade that they don't know what you're doing. Now, you don't want to be peeking this angle, as any good opper, if they see this smoke, it's going to be the exact angle that they're holding when they see this smoke. For example, if they're holding here, they see this smoke, they back off, they hold this cross, bam, you're dead, they back off. The better angle to do when you come out of this smoke is actually to peek on the left side of B ramp. You don't show your head, and what you do is you peek here and just cut this pie up like this, and you peek here, and a lot of the times you're going to get a kill, especially if you do this quick enough. Therefore, the pathing that I like to take is by clearing close like this, clearing here, clearing on top of the screens, clearing here, clearing close, clearing the back hall, zooming in, clearing the back hall. And what I will do is I'll come back and I'll clear up on top of this box, because you can't be seen from here by this box, and then you walk up here, and if they are jump spotting and you're holding from this angle, they're extremely difficult to hit. So again, what you want to do is increase the depth of your angle. If you can hold like this, well, you're going to be able to see more of their body, and you have a higher chance of hitting them holding this angle. And likewise from here, if you're holding the jump spot for here, when it comes to making space with the op, you want to be just slicing this pie, clearing these off angles, and instead of just peeking straight into this angle here, what I propose is jumping on top of this half wall, because you're going to be higher than they expect, and they're going to shoot you in the legs, hopefully giving you the chance to get the kill on them. Attacking B through the doors is one of my favorite strategies as Jett on Pearl. You can peek, and using the angle advantage, because you're further away from this angle than they are, you'll be able to see their head or their shoulder before they can see you, and you can just wallbang them through the wall, and it's pretty much a free kill if they're holding very, very passively. You can get up under the doors, and you want to be curving a smoke into the B link area so that you can isolate this B link 1v1. Alternatively, you want to be curving a smoke somewhere down B link so that you can just take this 1v1 in the mid connector. You can just curve it in and just try and isolate this 1v1. It can just cut off some angles for them. They just don't know what's happening, and it allows you to just isolate these angles. I would avoid using your dash, as your dash is most valuable for when you push up. You want to be placing your back against this wall and peeking this slowly, because if they're tucked into this corner, you're going to be able to see their shoulder before they can see you, and it's a free kill. Then you can just run up, place your smoke behind you, get your dash ready, and you can either go into heaven like this, or another dash I really like doing is smoking off the CT area and just dashing in like this and just disrupting these rotates from A. There's just a few different ways that you can play it. Some eco strategies I've had a lot of success with Jett is by just pushing these doors really, really aggressively. If you've got a Stinger or a Spectre, you want to be pushing these doors, prepping your dash, curving a smoke, and then just pushing into this B connector area. If you get a kill and then dash in, suddenly you've disrupted all of their rotations. They can't rotate through here. They're afraid of rotating through spawn, and this allows your team so much time to push through B link or push through B main. Now, some of the best knife strategies if you're on the B side is by popping your knives, jumping on top of this box, and off the barriers, you can actually peek into art and get a free kill like this. It's very common. You've got 2 chances. It gives you a load of time. When it comes to attacking B main, what I see a lot of Jetts do off the barriers is they'll run here, they'll pop their knives, and they'll just updraft like this, which is fine. Well, their crosshair is going to be here, and if they hear the Jett ultimate pop, they're probably just going to look up here, get the kill, and they're going to be laughing. This is why instead I propose off of the barriers, for you to actually come here, prep your dash, jump on top of this box, and what you want to do is glide as far as possible, and you want to use your updraft and pop it like this. Even if you die here, the crosshair is so far off that they're probably going to get traded, your team can rush up, and you can probably win that round. Another note is if you're pushing up here with your team, you can jump onto this half wall and actually double updraft and see into this B link area. Planting in this corner right here, looking towards this tree so that the spike comes as far out as possible. This open plant can guarantee any sort of post plants from B main here. You can peek from this side, you can peek from here, you can peek from here. You can even play from back B hall, and you can play from B link area here, as well as from heaven. You can walk out to here. Worst case scenario, you can even just spam this box with the defuse. But one of the best ways is Jett, particularly is if it's planted for here, is by popping your knives, and you can updraft here and catch anybody defusing off guard like this. Defending A as Jett is a lot of fun and is very strong as Jett just due to the amount of verticality that people don't realize exists on Pearl. Playing on top of this box is extremely strong. Playing on top of this dugout wall is also extremely strong. Both of these are off angles because if we take a look at how people clear A site on Pearl, they come up here, they'll clear art like this, they'll clear flowers, they'll clear backside, they tend to swing like this, and then they'll put their crosshair here and swing into secret. And people won't be placing their crosshairs here very often, and they certainly won't be placing their crosshair up here, which is why placing yourself just in between these two lines on the back of this, it allows you to ADS. You can pretty much always get a kill, then you can drop. The other off angle I love, as I mentioned, is anywhere on top of this wall. You can be playing here, you can be playing here, and it just switches it up. It makes the enemies very, very paranoid, and it's just a great way of playing it. Well, doubling up on art and playing on top of here, especially if they're util dumping on A, letting them come in, they're going to be planting here. So you can wait, if you know that they're smoking this, you can wait, they're going to think it's a clear site. Then when they go to plant, you can peek, get a kill or two, and then just wait and retake. You can pinch these 4 chokeholds with your team. Naturally, another way to defend as Jett is by playing aggressively. If you are here as the walls drop, well, by running up with your knife out, pulling your gun out, and being ready for this 50-50 fight, you're going to catch people off guard, as for some reason a lot of people don't realize the timing that you're here before they are. If you see nothing, I recommend waiting a solid 10 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds. If you see nothing, well, coming up here, taking it slow, just slicing this pie, and getting to here is extremely strong. It's an off angle, putting your back here. This is exactly where, when they walk up here, they're going to be looking here, like this, and you're going to be able to see them. A note here on using your dashes is if you're going to be prepping your dash and peeking this, and you know that they're going to be peeking this, when you get this first kill, you do not want to just get the kill and dash out. To me, you've essentially wasted your dash. Instead, what you want to be doing is being greedy with your dash. You want to prep it, get this first kill, go for a second one, and you know, if you whiff on the second one, then you've got your get out of jail free card. But now if you get the second one, you can dash, and you now have another dash ready to re-swing again, get a kill and dash out, and now you're up 3 kills. OPing defensively as Jett is always good, and again, this off angle is one of my favorite spots to play, as it's just so easy to get this kill, drop off, and now you can be playing backside here, waiting for the swing. You can be playing here for the cross. You can even smoke yourself out if you're feeling too pressured. Get into dugout in secret. Dugout wall is also very strong. You can drop in. If you smoke here, it pretty much allows you to get away. Play a different off angle here. If you know that their smoker's dead, this angle is almost unparalleled for being able to lock down the A site. Aggressively defending with the op on A is similar to rifling in that you want to be pushing this angle and holding this as soon as possible. You want to hold here, and if you hear steps, you want to prep your dash, get that kill, and put your smoke down. And what I like doing is getting inside with a shorty, then dashing out after I get a kill, and just playing off and playing these more defensive angles once you've got a kill or two. Pushing with the op and being greedy with your dash is really strong. Once you get into these lock-off angles as Jett, your best bet is getting a teammate to walk up and play in these off angles, these advanced off angles where they can hear if teams are coming. They'll be good for 2. It means that you can rotate off with your op. You're not being useless with the most expensive gun in the game. Go for those picks and push them into your strong defenses, say Killjoy or Cypher setups, A site is full of some great eco strategies. You can play back site with, you know, something short like a stinger or a shorty. I almost always recommend buying a shorty. The value of this gun is just incredible once you get used to it, especially with your Jett smokes. If they're planting, you can use them to push in, get close. Playing in dugout, really ideal as well. Playing something like this. Playing here with a judge or a shorty, you know, if you know they're coming in, you pop your smoke, pop your dash, get a kill, go for a second one, dash out. The third way is if you can get to here, well, you've set the trap. You can hide here, you can then peek here intermittently, and if you hear them tap this orb, well, you're here, you're sprung, you're ready for your trap. Eco strategies for art is by hiding behind this box. It's very common. If you have a teammate who baits for you, well, you can normally catch 1 or 2 people off guard. Playing here with a shorty or with a stinger or a spectre, for some reason, people like to swing this without checking this. If you have your knives, there's a few plays that you can be going for on A. If you play dugout and you know that they're util dumping, or you have somebody playing here in art and can listen for steps, get a flash and you can peek here. Get a kill or 2, float back to here, and if you prep your dash, you can get a kill and then just dash out, standing on top of this box pre-round. And if you hear them rushing a main or taking the orb, well, you can actually updraft, pop your dash float, and you can catch somebody taking this orb off, or if they're rushing in as well. Early round on art, of course, you can use your knives. You want to be jumping from this spot here, trying to catch somebody off guard that's playing far back. You want to be jumping from here, crouching onto this box, and then jumping up. But the problem is there's like an invisible wall here, and it's pretty hard to get a good angle on this. But if you hear them all rushing, you can maybe catch somebody off guard here, but it is pretty rare. When it comes to defending B with rifles, what I like to do is off of the barrier drop, I like to push up to this pillar and just tuck in here. Now, with a teammate baiting back sight or jump spotting here, peek and get a kill or 2, and then what you want to do is smoke yourself off, smoke off here, and then dash out. Another way I like to play is in this screens area, but what you want to not do when playing screens is tuck into this corner and crouch, as it's the first place that everybody's going to be spamming. Instead, you want to be playing just a little bit out from the wall like this, at an angle like this. If people are pushing here, they want to be clearing CT first. You just want to hold your trigger discipline and maybe tuck in if they're not spamming this often. Another spot to play is on top of this generator box. You can get a kill, you can drop into CT here and smoking yourself here. You can then jump dash into CT, or you can go into heaven like this. So you want to be smoking just like this, here, here. Then you want to jump, updraft, dash into heaven, and it's pretty safe to get out of this close angle. And if you crouch here, you can't get wallbanged from any angle. Opping on B is a Jett player's dream, and it is just a lot of fun to op on B. And some of my favorite angles I like playing are on top of this box, for example, holding this cross, because it's an off angle people don't see. You can of course be playing these close angles like this. One of my favorite spots to play is up on top of screens like this and holding this cross, as again, if they smoke here, they swing, you get the pick, you drop, and you can get another pick and then dash out like this. You want to be falling off to this angle, combining these angles, because again, we don't want to be holding this where it's pre-aim. We want to be holding a slight off angle where it's not quite this CT angle, but in between here where we can get a kill, and now we can back off to CT and get this off angle again. Now, when it comes to attacking with the op aggressively and getting your teammates into advanced positions like here or here, off the barrier, you want to be swinging the right like this. And with your teammate behind you, you want to just be walking up, just keep cutting this, and just taking this very slowly, very slowly, covering each angle, and just getting your teammate into these advanced positions. As for rifling B link, B doors area, I like to play aggressively. Any sort of flashes are ideal to flash over the top here. You can prep your dash, you can throw a smoke into the B main stairs, and you can just swing this and then dash back after you get this initial kill. What I don't recommend doing is holding here. It's just not ideal. It's too much of a 50-50, as if they peek from far back, they're going to be able to see you before you can see them, just because of the angle advantage. What I recommend doing instead is by playing this A-link area, and if you're smoked off, you can then push your smokes, you can play behind it, you've got your dash, you can get a kill, you can smoke, you can fall back. There are two ways to op this B-link mid-doors area. One is by playing very aggressively and actually taking this angle. You want to jump on top of this box. It's different when you have an op, as you can play this very tight angle and you'll be going to be able to react much faster and fall off. You can play aggressively right off the bat. I like playing for this peak here. but you do want to prep your dash, and it's only if you know that they're coming mid, consistently rushing the doors, that you can go for this pick, dash off, so that you can't be spammed from the people top mid. The second way to play B-Link is by playing far back on this box. This is a very strong up angle, you want to be holding wide, but other than that, I like to just keep on re-peeking this, using my dash, peeking close like this, peeking far back, holding an off angle like this. This is very strong, and then obviously you can dash back up to here. When it comes to playing eco strategies on B defensively, you want to be pushing up aggressively as soon as possible, especially if they haven't been clearing this the whole game. Playing here and then getting a KO flash or something, flashing you out, and then going for these 2 or 3 kills can be very rewarding. Same with here. If you tuck in and they don't check you, you can, if you've got good trigger discipline and you get a bit lucky, you want to be aiming for the furthest person away, and you just want to be running at them and just getting this 3 or 4 man spray down. Similarly, buying a sheriff is one of my favorite things to do. Sitting here, crouching, well, this is an off angle as you're going to catch them off guard. You know, you can get a kill, you can smoke it off, and then you can play off of your dash, go back here, playing close, getting that spray down, dropping off, and then smoking yourself off, as well as playing screens. It can be very rewarding, especially if you play 2 people screens and you tuck in like this, and this person wants to fight, you know, they fight till their death, they die. You can tuck in here and they're unlikely to check you. Playing backhaul with a shorty, somebody's going to swing this. If you're feeling your Marshall, I love jumping on top of this box and holding this headshot angle. Similarly, this angle is particularly good for marshalling, and what you want to do is get greedy and stay here as long as possible, as this headshot angle is really beneficial for you with the Marshall. If you have your knives and you're defending B, well, you can actually do a double updraft here and catch some heads just in this back angle. Another way is just by jumping off of heaven here, going like this, and just going for these kills. If you have your dash prep, then you can get away. 2 more knife spots are if you go on top of this box and you double updraft, you can then get this peek into mid main. It's pretty reliable, especially if there's a lurker. And the second one is if they're running down B main, you want to run down this ramp and double updraft here, and you can see close, you can see far, you can get a few kills, and it's just an unpredictable way to get a few kills. This updraft from flowers can allow you to catch somebody off guard planting. If you glide and updraft here, you can catch somebody planting in this corner or maybe onto the side. This updraft is from mid shops. You jump on top of this box, updraft, and you can get a kill into A art. This updraft is from B doors. You jump on top of this box, you double updraft, and you can get a kill into the mid main. This updraft from A art, you go on top of this box, updraft again, and you can see into the orb and A main. This updraft through the window on A allows you to catch people off guard pushing A main. This updraft on B allows you to either hit the post plant on B if it's planted for here, or this updraft also allows you to see people pushing B main. This updraft allows you to see the top of B ramp and get a potential cheeky kill. It's pretty safe, but it's hard to hit. This updraft is the best way to enter B main by jumping on top of this box, gliding, waiting, and then dashing and updrafting. This updraft spot from art, you want to jump glide on top of this box by crouching on the corner, and then you want to updraft, and this allows you to see into A main, and it gives you 2 updraft chances, but it's pretty unreliable. From this box, you want to be able to updraft here into A main. It's very, very situational, but it is possible. This updraft spot allows you to see into arts quite far, as well as if you use your second updraft, quite shallow. For this updraft on A, you should jump onto the half wall, strafe to the right, updraft, you can see back sight, and then you updraft again, you can see into flowers and clear close as well. This updraft from behind heaven can allow you to catch people running out of B main like this. This gimmick updraft from mid connector allows you to see anybody if the bomb is planted right here, but it's pretty unreliable and you're unlikely to get a kill, but it's an option. This updraft from B half wall allows you to see into mid link, get a potential kill on any defenders rotating in. Another updraft spot on B is by gliding on top of this box, jumping and double updrafting over this wall to try and catch some heads back here. And another updraft spot from heaven is if you know that they're rushing down this B link area, you can maybe catch somebody off guard here as well. A very situational updraft is if you know people are rotating from top mid, you may be able to double updraft here and catch somebody off rotating from A main here. If you find yourself on this box with an updraft left and you hear steps coming in, well, it's pretty easy to updraft here and catch a few people off guard and just dash out. If you know somebody is playing the mid connector arch, you can updraft from here and try and catch them off guard, or double updraft if you need more time. I hope you've enjoyed the video and learned something today playing Jett on Pearl. Do hit that like and subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 100 subs, and the next episode in the Ultimate Jett Masterclass is going to be split, so do like and subscribe. Stay tuned for that video next week, and yeah, see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.